So everybody seems to have found their seats. I'll say welcome. Good morning. Thank you. Couple of announcements. The first one has to do with the Families Helping Families. Your generosity is appreciated. Only 3. I noticed 4 was in there crossed out. Now it's 3. Keep up the momentum. Only 3 of the ornaments remain on the Families Helping Families tree. Please, if you've not chosen one, consider doing so. We want all our family members with gifts on Christmas. All gifts must be here by December 4th. Also, with the final push to the Georgia Senate runoff, we have voter postcards in the social hall. Please see us, and that's Kevin McKinney, to adopt some. One other announcement is you are invited to celebrate the season in song. The 6th annual Winter Sing will be Saturday, December 17th, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. here at the UCC. I understand it's outside and a fire pit will be there, so that sounds exciting. So welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. Our minister is the Reverend Stephen Robinson. My name, the last I checked, is Phil Turner, and I am your service leader of the day. To those of you here with us in the sanctuary, please be advised that this service is being streamed on YouTube. To those of you viewing on YouTube, we'll make an announcement that pre and post Zoom service will resume on December 4th. Please make sure you read the announcements in your printed order of service. Also, be sure to read the weekly events that are emailed to you each Thursday, as well as the Unigram and, of course, our website. Please practice the COVID restrictions that are approved by the board. Current guidelines are that we practice social distancing and that wearing a mask is optional. Here's an announcement for parents. If you need to occupy your young folks, we do have toys and books in the back of the social hall. And now please silence all of your electronic devices as we center ourselves for today's service and listen to the prelude.
This morning's prelude is by J.H. Kwabena and Katia. He's a composer, musicologist, and educator from Ghana who was born in 1921 and died recently in 2019. He's a preeminent scholar of African music and published many articles and books, including the texts The Music of Africa and Ethnomusicology in African Music, which is used in classrooms throughout Africa and across the world. This morning's composition, Volta Fantasy, reflects characteristics of the music of the Anlo Ewe people from the Volta region of Ghana. It's an example of Nkatia's unique approach to transcribing the rhythms of African music, using a 6/8 time signature rather than a simple 2-beat measure. He was a champion of celebrating the diversity of harmonic languages used in music throughout Africa, and of using Western musical techniques while preserving the indigenous characteristics of the music he studied, recorded, and composed.
Thank you, Anna. Wow. Please stand and join me in the congregational affirmation as found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, thus do we covenant with one another. Please be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. We are a covenantal religion, which means we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. As Unitarian Universalists, we side with love, embracing all people regardless of age, color, race, socioeconomic status, physical ability, or religious background. We have been officially designated by the Unitarian Universalist Association as a welcoming congregation that welcomes LGBTQ+ individuals. We especially invite families and young children, providing a nursery. We encourage everyone to wear name tags so that we may know each other better. Board members wear green name tags, and they always welcome your comments, questions, and suggestions. Would the members of our Board of Trustees please stand now so that you may be recognized? Thank you. At this time, we would like to recognize any guests or visitors who are with us today. So visitors, if you are willing and able, please rise and share with us your name and where you are from. Or if you have guests with you, please feel to introduce them. Amelia will bring the microphone.
This is the Moody Schmidt row. These are family. This is March and John Moody from Spartanburg. And this is Linda and Ralph Schmidt. And they're from here in town. And they've all been here before, but not as a group in a long time. So it's nice to have them.
It's a hard act to follow. My name's Tom Dalziel. Was born here in this town and currently live in West Columbia. I've been in this building many times for over the decades, concerts and church services, but it's been a long time since I've been here, a decade or more.
Okay, welcome, Tom. Welcome. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Claudia Myers, and this is Jean Matovich, and we're from Ludington, Michigan, where they've got about a foot of snow right now, and it was 18 degrees this morning. So we're glad to be here, and we're just traveling through town. We're very active in a UU congregation in Ludington.
Wonderful. Welcome. Well, visitors, please fill out a visitor card and put it in the collection plate. There should be a visitor card in the back of the chair in front of you. This information enables us to send out newsletters and emails, but we do promise no one will knock on your door. Though we're still under COVID restrictions, let's everybody take a moment to greet each other. Turn to those in front or back or beside you and offer a greeting, or maybe a handshake or a fist bump.
Probably that corner or the stage for the about the choir service, just because the best way we could find today is to get the piano. This is where everybody's circle around here. Put it in front, yeah. I mean, you could sit there if you feel awkward on the stage. If you choose to stay there, you're going to
Oh no, I'll be on stage when you sing, so I'd rather go out there so I can hear, but I think it's easier for me to just be up there so I'm already.
Is this what I ring to get him back in? Today's cellist later is Jeanette Walton. And she's coming.
Okay, I'm Jeanette. I'm going to read so I don't ramble. I first came to the UU one night for the coffee house with a friend who was neither a member nor a friend of the congregation. It was several years later. I was looking to see if the coffee house was still going on. It was not, but I realized there was something called Forum, and I visited that. So after several months, I started coming to the actual services, got involved, and became a member. I value the open-mindedness of Unitarian Universalism and its acceptance of all people, not just of different religions, backgrounds, but also those of us who have no religion. I encourage everyone to come to the Forum. I've got to put my ad in there. And to support the Mountain Retreat and Meditation Center in North Carolina, along with the other wonderful groups and committees that meet here. As I light this candle, I think of the saying, the light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste.
Thank you. Spirit of light in life, come unto us.
I invite the UUCC Adult Choir to come forward. This morning we'll be singing the beautiful song Autumn Leaves by Johnny Mercer and Joseph Cosma in an arrangement by Ryan O'Connell.
Beautiful. Thank you. For our opening words, for this week and next week, we are going to use as a responsive reading our current UUCC Congregational Covenant, and looking for information, feedback from you all as we read this aloud together in community, to actually think about if there are tweaks that we need to make and changes of wording, or anything like that, as covenants are always meant to be renewed and celebrated together. If you'll find it as an insert in the program, I'll read the bold print and you read the, thank you, sorry, my mind just could not find the word. Italics, there it is. You have put your faith in me, you know. All right, in the spirit of love. There is spirit here. There is trust here. There is forgiveness here. There is hope here. Every human being is different. There is injustice throughout our world. Communication is important. Everyone is suffering. Thank you. I don't believe we have children to come down for our story for all ages, so we will move on to the next part of our program. I'm going to actually invite Nancy to come forward and share a little bit about our candles. I'm sorry, not your share of the plate. At this time, no, we'll do the candles first. I'm sorry. So at this time, anytime we skip something, then the service kind of gets me off. So this time we prepare ourselves for candles of community, a chance for us to both celebrate joys in this community together, but also to share whatever is concerning on our hearts. I invite you to come forward if you have a candle and briefly share your joy or concern, and then place the candle next to our chalice.
Stephen is so tall. Okay, hi, I'm Linda Brennison, and I'm going to light a candle of concern today in remembrance of the Transgender Day of Remembrance. It's an annual observation on November the 20th that honors the memory of the transgender people whose lives were lost in acts of anti-transgender violence. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Charles Johnson, the husband of Bethany Storlazzi. She's not here today. Where is she? Well, she's trying to get away from me, actually. No, but really, she is down in Florida for her, it's a celebratory candle for her godfather, parent, his 80th birthday. So they're celebrating it. So there's lots of little things going on down there. He is Jewish, so you can imagine all the different festivities going on.
On Friday evening, Mary and I attended a dinner party for retired faculty from the College of Arts and Sciences at University of South Carolina. And we hadn't been to one of those for a while. And it was very well attended, nice food and all that. And we got to see people we hadn't seen for a very long time. And that was nice. It was very nice to have that time with them. Of course, we also reminisced about the people who couldn't be there because they were no longer with us. And the other thing I noticed, I couldn't help but notice while we were talking, was that many of my old friends have shrunk, literally. And I realized I have too. I used to be taller than our son. I'm not anymore. But I have fond memories of being taller and of all my good friends on the university faculty. Thank you.
We're fortunate in that besides our active minister, Steve Robinson, we have 3 retired ministers in the congregation. One of these people, Rebecca Drennan, will have open heart surgery tomorrow in Providence Hospital. She's expected to leave the hospital and go home by next weekend. After that, her husband, Peck, will be busy in taking care of her under serious circumstances.
And along with our candles that we light, we also hold a space for those joys, those concerns that are silent and held close in our hearts. This time I invite you to take a few deep breaths and think about those that we've heard from and the joys that we're celebrating, but also the deep concerns that we have for those who are facing surgery and dealing with other crises. Thank you. Now we prepare for our offering and our sharing of our plate for this month. I will just say, especially this will be to the delight of any Gamecock fans out there, that I will blame my confusion this morning just from driving by Williams-Brice on the way here. It just felt chaotic still there after last night. But our Harvest of Hope person who's not able to be with us today, Nancy's going to share a little bit about that and also give us some information about Harvest Hope. So Nancy.
Thank you, Reverend Robinson. This is from Joanne Johnson. She says, Harvest Hope is South Carolina's largest food bank, providing over 22.6 million meals annually to neighbors in need across the Midlands, PD, and upstate. Harvest Hope began in 1981 as a result of a shared vision of business leaders in the faith community who set out to provide for the hungry in Columbia. Since then, Harvest Hope has increased its mission to feed the hungry across 20 counties in South Carolina. Harvest Hope is on a mission to eliminate hunger and food insecurity in South Carolina. We rescue nutritious food from stores throughout the state and distribute it to food pantries, shelters, and soup kitchens. We operate programs that provide food for our most vulnerable citizens, children, seniors, and rural residents who don't have access to grocery stores. We also run our own emergency food pantries food pantries in Greenville and Columbia, where anyone in need can get a week's supply of groceries at no charge. Harvest Hope is South Carolina's largest food bank and serves 20 out of the 46 counties. There are over 700,000 adults in South Carolina facing hunger tonight, and almost 170 of those are children. In our beautiful state and country, no one should have to go to bed hungry. The holidays are a busy time for us at Harvest Hope, maybe our busiest of the year. We will see the numbers of individuals we serve double, sometimes even triple. When thinking about the holidays, most of us think about gathering around a table with our loved ones with a warm meal. We want to be able to give this to our neighbors in need. You can give the gift of hope to someone in need this holiday season. It takes the whole community coming together to end hunger. In addition to whatever monetary gifts you are most graciously able to donate today or this month, I want to encourage you to make a habit of bringing non-perishable food items such as macaroni and cheese, canned vegetables, soups, canned meals like Chef Boyardee, peanut butter, rice, or pasta to place in the grocery cart that we have out there in the social hall. These non-perishable food items go a long way in helping someone in need to put together a meal. At Harvest Hope, our holiday wish is simple: to fill the tables of these thousands of our neighbors that are facing hunger. And I can't thank you enough for choosing to help us this season and throughout the rest of the year. You can visit our website at harvesthope.org to donate or learn how you can volunteer or find out how to host a food drive. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. You can also donate by using the offering envelopes today or going to our website as well and clicking on the donate button. This time I invite our ushers to come forth and receive our offering.
Our offertory music this morning is a song of gratitude by singer-songwriter Jennifer Friedman. She sang this maybe a decade ago when she was here at the UUCC for a workshop, and the melody stayed with me ever since. So the first verse is her words, and then the following verses are changed. We are saying thank you. We are saying thank you. We are saying thank you. Thank you is our practice. Thankful we are gathered. Thankful we are gathered. Thankful we are gathered. Gathered here together. May we know abundance within us and around us. May we share our gifts then, so all may know abundance. We are truly grateful. We are truly grateful. We are truly grateful. Gratitude our practice.
We receive our offering today, a symbol of our commitment to this good work. Well, happy holiday season. We can always tell. And where's the family from Michigan? Yeah, just kind of ignore this for a second. But you can always tell we're getting ready for the holidays when we have our winter weather that comes our way, as it has this week. That old temperature dropped below 50 on us. So, woo. We are getting ready for a holiday that literally celebrates gratitude, but also celebrates abundance. One of the symbols of the Thanksgiving holiday is the overflowing cornucopia, a symbol of we have more than enough, more than we need. Last week, if you were here, a former minister, Neil, gave a wonderful sermon on the true story of Thanksgiving, and it being an example of our desire for accumulation and our desire for wealth that really drove the pioneer spirit in those days. The willingness to acquire, possess, and accumulate at any cost, and particularly the cost of those indigenous people who were here who suffered because of our desire to acquire, to possess, to accumulate. This has been an underlying conscious and an unconscious stream since that time in our American culture. You can hear it as almost our heartbeat. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. And so we come to this season and this celebration where we are celebrating abundance, our ability to accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. And so we need something to help us as we find balance in the midst of this season, because certainly we don't want to stop being grateful, stop celebrating, but we do need balance. And so we turn to a word in the Chippewa language of the Malawi people that can help us today, and it's on the front of your program. We're probably going to get sued by whoever owns milk for that, but that's all right. But the word is Katundu in the Chippewa language. It literally means a load or a pile of stuff. That's the safe word for me to use there. Stuff that is accumulated. And really in the Chippewa culture, in the Malawi culture, it's a load or a pile of stuff typically that's not needed, that it's overabundance, it's duplicates, it's redundancy, it's stuff that we don't need. Maybe we might call it clutter, hoarded materials, concepts and piles of things that are really something that we should have gotten rid of a long time ago. And so I guess we can maybe safely say to someone, turn to your neighbor and say, you know, this won't be as offensive. You can say, you know what, you're full of Katundu. You can try that right now and see if that feels nicer to someone. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But you know what? Even in the Malawi culture, the word is often used to also embrace, not only just put in check the desire to accumulate stuff and have piles of stuff, but it's also used to celebrate and embracing the concept, and even stores are named after that through parts of Africa. Katundu stores. Who would name something after a junk like that? I mean, who would literally, can you imagine a culture that would call something a junk store? Oh wait, we do that as well, don't we? I think is it Costco? Is that what it translates into? I'm just kidding. I have a Costco card, sorry. I'm with it. And Nancy and I ran into Nancy and Emilio there. I'm a member, right? So it's all right. A big pile of stuff you don't need. That is what Katundu really invites us to think about. Now, when I was planning this sermon a couple of months ago and preparing for this holiday and thinking about how to really balance ourselves in getting ready for this. One of the things that wasn't on my radar is that we would be moving during this time. And we are getting ready to sell our home and move into a different home. And so moving is not one of my favorite things in the world, although it does provide an opportunity to shame yourself with the stuff that you have accumulated in your life. And so I've moved about, I think, 3 times in the past 25 years or so. And over that time, it's given me 3 opportunities to make a really tough decision. And I've just faced it again, just this week and into the weekend. And that is it time to let go of the collection of National Geographics that I have from 1965 to the year 2000? Or is it time to remind myself why I'm keeping them? Yes, I know. I've had lots of, as I've talked about this, I've had lots of suggestions of things that I can do with them. Some of them were nice like that, and some of them were not so nice from my own family. As my teenage daughter yesterday spent time sorting them out by year. She's like, why do we have all these things? But then as she was sorting through them, she stumbled across the December 1969 edition that focuses on the moon landing and actually has a 45 insert floppy in there that you can listen to the audio of all that. And she said, this is amazing. And I was like, I know. This is why I keep it in a bin in the garage so we can't ever find it. Exactly. So yes, it's been a crisis of trying to figure out how in the world have we gathered so much stuff and what do we do with it? And I had an even more difficult moment as a delivery person was dropping off a package while we were doing some cleaning out of the garage and creating donate piles and looking in our neighborhood. We have a great neighborhood of folks that are always interested in taking junk from other people. And we have a good Katundu Facebook page. So the delivery guy was coming up our driveway as I was working, and I won't say what company that he works for, but it does rhyme with Tramazon. And he was delivering a package, and he said, what are you guys doing? I said, we're cleaning out and getting rid of stuff, as he hands me something new. And then like 20 minutes later, he had forgotten one of the packages that we had ordered, and so he comes back up the driveway and he said, what are you doing again? I was like, you know what? This is in stuff we need to help us with the tuning out of stuff that we don't need. All that to say, sometimes, you preach a sermon to try to inspire people. This is a sermon that is actually meant to shame me over and over again until my family finally celebrates that we've let go of some things. But it is, and I can see the looks on your faces as I'm talking about it. You've had those similar experiences of where we realize, man, how do we have so much stuff? But maybe during this season, we can use this concept of Katundu to celebrate abundance, but also to talk about the toll that it can take on us as well in our lives to have so much clutter. And we can talk about how allowing Katundu's criticisms to focus in on our lives and provide a different path of a more simplest, minimalist lifestyle, and how that can create mental, emotional, physical, and even spiritual benefits leaning toward that minimalist lifestyle and letting go. Certainly that is a spirituality that is found in several places. Jesus' mentor in the New Testament, John, said, if you have 2 coats, give one of them away. Now I've heard one critique of John in saying that's not a huge sacrifice to give a coat away for a guy that's living in the desert. But the concept of if you have more than you need, why not share it? And of course, Buddhism helps us with this grasping, this craving of accumulate by teaching ourselves a practice of putting that craving or that grasping in check on the path to getting our attachment to things, to viewpoints, to rituals, and to selfhood all under control in an attempt to find health. So really living a more simplistic, minimalist lifestyle, letting go of some of the clutter can be such a path toward our health. Physical health and the ways that we declutter our lives has many health benefits. The ability to keep things clean and create less stress in our lives that comes with a cluttered life. Emotional and psychological. Someone said just the simple things, like if you go to your closet and you have less choices to make with what you're going to wear, that is a very stress-free experience. Now, that person that I was reading that obviously doesn't go to the closet and have a lot of things that don't fit. So now it's a stressful experience in our lives. But the ability to not have so much in our decision-making process and so many things to move around can certainly bring a lot of health and well-being in our lives. The Zen leader and philosopher Leo Babauta, in his book, The Power of Less, claims that decluttering can cause us to have a confrontation with our key relationships with all the stuff that we have in our world around us. We learned that clutter can represent our procrastination, our avoidance patterns. We just decide to put it in a corner and address it later. We all have that drawer somewhere in our house that we can't tell you what's in it, but we know it's something we're gonna deal with at some point in our lives. And it's something that we're gonna need at some point in our lives, right? I'm looking for this. Oh, it's in that drawer. Oh, no, I have to look through the drawer to find it. We realize that these objects in our lives that cause the clutter have a power in our lives, give us power in our identity, our sense of value, sometimes the sense of who we are, our security, our hopes for the future, our memories, our love, our comfort, our National Geographics. But then we realize that this power is actually within us all along. And it's not outside, it's not located in some kind of objects that we have accumulated. Our sense of security is not located in our ability to surround ourselves with things. And when we do that, we can start paying attention then to what's truly important to us and shift ourselves from the inside and realize that we have a power within. The power that we've given to all that we have accumulated has actually been accumulated in us a long time ago. So Babauta says, what would we do if we could realize that that power then is not outside of us in those things, but is in us? And he begins to look at several things, and I want to name 7 of the things that he names as common cases of the things that we attach to our items of clutter. Security. He writes that buying a lot of stuff makes people feel secure. If everything crashes, well, at least we have this stuff, right? Does that sound familiar? When we prepare for winter weather here in Columbia, just like we had this week, the temperature actually dropped below 30 for a couple of hours this one morning. And when that happens, good luck finding toilet paper anywhere in this town. That's security. But on a grand level, we still remember a generation that experienced the Great Depression that knew security could be taken away like that. And so we have to hide our sense of security away in possessions that we can actually put our hands on. A second thing that he says, we attach to those items are approval. A lot of us buy things to impress other people. And we don't usually admit that to ourselves, but in the end, We all want approval from others. He also says that we buy it for comfort, ways of comforting ourselves, just like we eat sometimes when we're stressed. But lots of times we buy possessions to give ourselves comfort, something nicer, something more plush, a gadget in the kitchen that we need. There's nothing wrong with having these things, but we have to pay attention to how much power we are giving those things. The fourth, he says, is we attach identity and value to our possessions. They give us a sense of a trophy that make us feel like we've accomplished something, having the nicest equipment, or having lots of books, or I'm just gonna say it one more time because they're going away. Lots of National Geographics. Sorry for grieving out loud this morning, but they're already boxed up and getting ready to be donated. Demonstrate yourself he says, in 20 minutes of meditation. Can I let this thing go? Is it really attached to me? And see if you can actually, instead of finding a sense of awe in that thing, move inward and see if you can find a sense of awe and identity and value in yourself. And then, of course, we have memories, love, things that are sentimental, that we are attaching to these objects, and so we have to keep them. We have so many things that remind us of events in our lives. But Babauta says the memories aren't in the objects, they're in our heads. And this simple photo or this thing that we have will only remind ourselves of what's actually inside us, the memory and the love. The sixth one, he says, is hope and aspiration. We hold on. This one was tough, so I just apologize in advance for this one. We hold on to exercise or sports equipment or clothes that are sizes smaller than we are now in hopes that we will return to them in the future. Sorry for saying that, but it's true. We hold on to books that we say, I'm going to read these books one day out in the future. Dozens of objects in our lives that represent our hopes and our aspirations. He says that many people have magic tricks, juggling, a chess set, hiking equipment, camping equipment, books for learning, literature, lots of things that we aspire that we're going to have in our lives. But what if we realize we don't need all of those hopes for our future selves, that greatness is within us right now? And then the last, of course, is happiness. Most objects that we have are intended to give us happiness. A new smoothie blender that will make us healthy and fit, a new outfit that will make us feel gorgeous and confident, a new bag that will make us feel cooler. Those things might happen when you acquire them, but the happiness doesn't come from the things, it comes from connections and open hearts. So the question is, and the question that drives at Katundu, what is really important to you? What is really important to us? Living a life that is aligned with our values and a life that is in balance should be our goal. And while we're on this subject, it does make it worth mentioning that consumerism is one of the greatest threats to our environment. We take, we possess, and we accumulate at any cost. As we truly value our connection and our interdependence to this web of existence around us, and putting our craving for Katundu in check is the responsible way to live as an empowered member of that web of existence. So we come to a holiday this week that celebrates a mindset that has defined our culture. So maybe we can use this holiday to reset and realign ourselves in a healthy way, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Maybe we go to our cars and we remove the bumper sticker that says Katundu happens. And during this Thanksgiving season, in the midst of our abundance, in the midst of our gratitude, we also find the power to be simple and to know that the power is within ourselves instead of anything that is around us.
I invite you to join in singing hymn number 19, The Sun That Shines. Please stand as you're willing and able. It's in the gray hymnal.
Can remain standing for our closing words that come from Thich Nhat Hanh, who we lost earlier this year in January, who taught us that in truly letting go, you practice gratitude. Mudita, or the joy, arises when we overcome with gratitude for all that we have, such that we no longer cling to some other longed-for object or result. So hear the words of Thich Nhat Hanh. Be yourself. Life is precious as it is. All the elements for your happiness are already here. There is no need to run, strive, search, or struggle. Just be.
I invite you to join in singing our congregational benediction, and I'm pleased to share that following that we'll have a special postlude played by John Moody.
Thank you, and I invite you to stick around for the postlude, but also stick around after the service for some time of social gathering. We definitely want to welcome the Moody Schmidt row that's there, and certainly celebrate that you're here. We also welcome Tom and Claudia and Jean from Michigan that are braving the winter weather storm we're having right now. Thank you all for being a part of the service today, and we hope you have a great holiday week.